Hi, I'm Christy. I want to talk to you today about the summer that AJ had. Now, as I sat down to write this all out, I realized that AJ was getting ready to finish a full 20-day work assessment. And as I sat down and I thought about that, I was shocked and amazed and so grateful that he was able to do all of that. But let me back up and start at the beginning of our summer. About 3 weeks after graduation, he was able to start working at an elementary school on the custodial team. Now, a friend of ours was able to put this together. He's part of that custodial crew. And over the course of the time AJ worked there, he became one of the guys. And they were able to teach him new skills that he needed to know or needed to learn to be able to be part of a custodial crew. And they also solidified skills that this friend had taught him in previous experiences. Like I said, he became one of the guys, and it was really cool to hear that that had happened. He enjoyed almost every moment there, but we did have a few hiccups we had to work through. He did that for about 5 weeks, and during that time, he got to do new things, like using a backpack vacuum to vacuum things up. Now, he loves to vacuum. He does most of our vacuuming at home, but using the backpack, well, that made it extra special. He also got to use a backpack leaf blower, which he talked about a lot after that. He was so excited to do that, and that was a lot of fun for him. Now, we stopped that so that he could start this 4-week or 20-day work assessment. This is for the Bureau of Vocational Rehabilitation, which is our organization that retrains people for work if they've been injured on the job. They also work with individuals like AJ and help them, train them, and get them ready for the workforce. This is the first step after the initial application for this was doing this work assessment. So I had always assumed that he would do it at Goodwill. Everybody that I had heard of had done their assessment at Goodwill, and I was okay with that, but I knew that it wasn't the best fit for AJ. Now, he had worked at a different Goodwill during the school year with one of the other classes, and they had stopped it partway through because it just was not a beneficial use of his time. His teacher said it was like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. It just was not good. And so when the caseworker mentioned that we did have other options, I kind of jumped at that. And so when she gave me the list and I looked at it and saw that one of the options was with an organization that works specifically with adults with special needs, and he could work in the custodial department, well, yeah, you better believe we jumped on that one. Now, I believe that not everybody like AJ can finish the full 20-day assessment. In fact, AJ's teacher told me that AJ is the first one that he's aware of that has actually done the full 20 days. And I fully believe that it's because we chose this organization and the custodial department. This meant that we knew that it was a kind of work that he enjoyed and that he had a confidence going in knowing that he could do these kinds of things. Now, it also helped that the supervisors he's had were amazing. He had 2 different people that he worked with, and they both worked to teach him new skills and pushing him to do them thoroughly and, as he could, then more quickly. And he came home every day excited about what he had done, excited to go back, and proud of the work he'd done. In fact, on the 3rd or 4th day, he came home with a shirt with the company's logo on it, and they told me he had earned that shirt. So that was a really fun thing for him, too. The downside to the assessment was that it took longer for all the pieces to fall into place, and so he missed the first 9 days of school. Now, in reality, this probably isn't a really big deal. He's already graduated, so attendance and classes are kind of a moot point. And completing this assessment was probably more important than actually being in school. However, it kind of messed with my head because we have a philosophy of if school's in session, you're there. Obviously, we make exceptions if they're sick, but other than that, you're there if school's in session. And so it kind of messed with my head. But I'm really excited for how he did and that he was able to do the full 20 days. So I obviously spent my summer driving AJ back and forth. And I never did relish that part of it. But as I look back, I am so thrilled with how well the summer went, with how he stepped up. He learned new skills, and he even learned to work through a few hiccups and problems that we had that came up along the way. And he learned how to be successful at work and learned some more skills along the way as well. So you're probably thinking, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but what does this have to do with me? Well, I gained some insights this summer, and I think that they might apply to you. One, choose a location or an organization or an option for work with a company that works with special needs. When they understand special needs, it helps things a lot. I'd also recommend choosing an area where your loved one has experience or an interest in it, because who doesn't have fun going to work and doing things that they enjoy? I would also say, if you can, and it's not always possible, but if you can, avoid situations where you're putting a square peg in a round hole. That's just frustrating for everybody. I liked that we could choose an option where we can anticipate success and we can set AJ up for success. So that would be something else I'd recommend. If you can get the pieces in place correctly so you can set your loved one up to succeed, that's always the best for everyone. And then a reminder, like so many things in life, some things just take longer to fall into place than you anticipate, so you've got to remain flexible. So my question for you this week is this: what tasks has your loved one completed that you didn't think was possible? I'd love to hear about them. You can leave me a comment below, or you can leave me a comment over on my blog at www.havenofhopeforme.com. This originally posted in September of 2018. I'd also appreciate it if you would share this with anybody that you think would enjoy it or find it helpful. I'd love to help more people out. As I've mentioned before, if you want to know about the latest content as it's released, you can sign up for my email list over on my website. I promise to only send things that I think you'll find helpful, informational, or useful. As I look back in this summer, I am so proud of AJ's growth and his accomplishments, and I'm remembering that life is good, and there is never a dull moment.